Have you ever wanted to be allergic to sunlight? How about being so socially awkward you could only travel through sewers? Have you ever wondered how it feels to be a schizophrenic freak? Maybe, deep down, you even wanted to suck a juicy, fat, throbbing rat dry out of its blood? Well, think no more, cause Troika Games prepared an RPG in 2004 just to answer your weird questions and fulfill your freaky fantasies. Just as one random guy in LA at one random night tried to fulfill his own fantasies with a hot chick he met at a club, and bam, he remembers nothing about his past.
Look right here.
And that's not even the worst part of it. Bunch of weirdos break into his man cave and try to kill them both. Turns out they are vampires, and so is the girl. Oh, and now he's one of them too, since this vampire chick decided to turn him into a vampire. Now you're probably wondering, why are they trying to kill him? Well, it's basically a vampire crime to embrace mortals without seeking a permission from a reigning vampire prince.
The penalty for this transgression is death.
I guess the night was that good enough to risk for a taste of a vampiric gorilla's enemy sword. But at least they chose to spare that guy's undeadness, employ him
My apologies.
for a suicide mission,
Prove it was more than a wasted gesture, fledgling. Don't come back until you do.
and throw his naked, amnesiac ass into the world of darkness. Yep, you're that clueless guy. Or girl. It's your decision, as you can create your character by completing a quick BuzzFeed type quiz. Or you can go straight to character sheet and pick your vampire clan. Clans are like your classic RPG archetypes, but with a pair of fangs. Each has its own unique strengths and weaknesses. There are 7 playable clans, Bruja and Gangrel, who are hot-headed brawler type vampires, with the latter being more on the furry side.
Kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantic.
Premier being nerdy blood mages. Ventrue, something like a paladin, except in this setting they are more like corporate schmucks, who think too high of themselves, as rats are not fit for their gourmet standards. Tordor, dramatic, egotistic, slutty, manipulatus, sharing similarities of a bar class. Then there's Malkavians, vampires cursed by madness, or maybe blessed by it. And last but not least, we have Nosferatu, a fugly sewer crawlers with severe social anxiety who forgot about soaps. But hey, at least they learned how to evade social interactions and got really good at computers for their daily dose of copium. Most people tell new players to not pick a Nosferatu, because if anyone sees your unconventional beauty, it's an instant vampire crime, or a Malkavian, because their dementation alters the way they see things. But I would say fuck it, give it a try, and feel a contagious madness spreading within your body. Of course, clans are not the only thing you can choose in this sheet. There are also attributes and traits, which helps you shape your own playstyle. You start with some experience points, but you'll need a lot more to evade your final death. Now that the prince has given you a job, he basically says, "Now, fuck off." So it's time to figure some things out. No worries though, the game immediately hits you with knowledge so arcane, even the most hardcore gamers might have forgotten. Like, use the mouse to look around, use the keys to move. Well, this one is actually useful. Anyway, Smiling Jack is here to help a clueless fledgling like you with the most important basics of being kindred. This isn't your usual comic book or folklore vampire stuff.
Forget that comic book crap, kid.
No garlic allergies,
It's worthless.
no deadly crosses.
Shove it right up their ass.
Then comes the big question.
Running water? That's no problem. I bathe. Occasionally.
What do kindred actually have in common? They squeeze juicy blood drops from someone's neck, like it's their new heroin addiction. Blood works as both a health potion and a mana potion combined. But be careful not to drain your innocent humans completely dry. Because drinking blood isn't just about staying alive. It's about holding onto your last remaining values of humanity. Or at least pretending to be. Drain a homeless bum dry, and congratulations, you're one step closer to becoming a mindless murder beast. Well, but if you haven't drank that sweet blood for a little too long, prepare to deal with your inner junkie when he goes on a frenzy just for a single drop, which is a great way to earn yourself a Masquerade violation.
What is a Masquerade?
It's an organized campaign enforced by the Camarilla to convince mortals that vampires are not real, so they could exist without thinking about humans being a threat, which is getting harder by each day as technologies rise. What's a Camarilla? It's a worldwide sect of vampires that has existed since early Renaissance. Any more questions?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Okay, let's keep the video flowing.
Come down here. Oh, it's a Sabat raid. Sabat, they're mostly mindless, bloodthirsty assholes. That's all you need to know for now, right?
And Jack himself is an anarch, as he doesn't want any princess sitting on his shoulders and commanding what he needs to do next. Well, I guess that's enough of talking. Time for some action. Sneaking. Yeah, this shit is broken. If you have a very low stealth and dexterity skills, you can barely pass the tutorial section, even while being in shadows. But when you put in a few points...
Who's there? Suspects fled the
you
scene.
become practically invisible. And if you don't want to mess around with stealth, no problem, you still have your voice.
You're not from Jacobson.
Which means injecting your schizophrenia into others, seducing them, manipulating the unsuspecting, and basically being just another politician. But you can't evade all of your problems. Sometimes you must face them.
Oh shit!
Like beating the shit out of the big bad vampires with your fists, breaking their legs with a baseball bat, making a bunch of little holes in their bodies, or even using your supernatural powers to melt their faces off. And yes, combat can be pain in the ass. For melee combat, all you can do is try outlasting your foe and hope he dies faster than you do, by constantly smashing your left mouse button and using your superpowers. And as for guns, unless you have a lot of skill points invested into firearms, prepare to miss most of your shots. But honestly, even though you're sneaking, hacking, lockpicking, and blasting heads off shoulders, it's all about vampires and their societies, how they operate in the shadows while staying invisible to humans. They are creatures that have superpowers, but still act exactly like people, being petty, paranoid, ambitious, and full of shit. Now that Jack has taught you how to exist as a vampire, it's time to step out into the wider world of darkness as a small disposable creature in a much bigger food chain. Welcome to Santa Monica, the first hub location where the game tests your skills as a kindred and sends you off to fulfill LaCroix's dirty errands. He even gives you a free apartment, a laptop, a
The creature is
TV.
thought to be some form of giant octopus, severed family of sea creatures.
Wow.
A massive gelatinous.
Okay, let's not overstay in our palace. And here's our Agent Mercurio we were sent to meet. Looks like he had it a bit rough tonight. But good for him, he's a ghoul. Ghouls are minions that are created when a vampire gives a bit of its blood to a human without sucking him off first. Ghouls acquire some powers of their master.
The vamp blood's the only thing holding me together. Once a month I get fed vampire blood. Heals me faster, makes me stronger than a normal human. I don't age. By looking at me, you wouldn't realize it, but I'm almost 60.
The thing is, Mercurio had to deliver you the explosives, but some local thugs down by the beach, instead of selling Astralite explosives, took all of his money.
What is this lump? Is this my rib? Oh, holy shit, my rib is poking through my side?
And broke his ribs.
I'm lying here bleeding to death, and you're cracking wise?
So, this is the point where your wanderings begin.
What's the hops, bro?
Well, as most of the older games, this game also doesn't try to hold your hand. Forget about quest markers. We are doing this the old way. Good old reading and navigating with the maps that are hung on the bus stops. Or, if you are lucky enough, there are even several maps in the sewers. Even though locations are not big, they are surely packed with life and interesting stuff to witness. Excuse me, it's time to fill up my humanity bar. And side quests to solve in whatever way feels right.
Huh? Oh, I see what you're yapping about, yeah.
For those sweet extra experience points. Need to gear up? No problem. Fat Larry is right here, just a few steps away.
Welcome to Fat Larry's Trucker Mac, the only store for all your needs after 10 o'clock. I am the proprietor and salesman of the month several years in a row. The ladies call me, oh God, but you can call me Fat Larry with a F-A-T, cause I know I got a weight problem, I just don't give a fuck.
You don't need to worry about inventory space, and you can have any weapon as long as you have enough money. Looking where the quest objective is? Yep, it was probably on the other side of the street, the whole time. The atmosphere is impeccable. And it generally makes you feel like you're in early 2000s, only now they're filled with vampires and ghosts. Yep, you heard it right. And it's gonna be your job to bust the ghosts out of the abandoned hotel. Just don't forget to bring an extra pair of pants. Trust me, because I didn't. But ghosts are going to be the least of your concerns compared to a Hollywood sewer level. If you tried to be a smooth talker vampire and forgot to pick some firepower on your way in.
Welcome to Sang's Herbal Remedies. I am Sang. Hold on, please. These are good remedies for many problems. No credit cards.
Guess what you can find in the sewers? That's right, lots of shit. But the shit comes in this form, and this form, and even this form.
But I'm not done yet.
You have to fight these turds while trying to find your way out of these maze-like sewers, which were half-baked because Troika games were running short on time. You can feel it was rushed after you pass about half of the game. It's full of glitches and bugs. But of course fans patched lots of broken nonsense, as well as implemented a lot of unused content. So by the Cain's blood, that's why you should consider installing the unofficial patch before you start your journey.
I tried.
And then we have the main questline that constantly pushes you from one side of the LA to the other, which makes you realize maybe you're not the main character here. Maybe you are just another pawn in someone else's centuries-old game. And most of that chaos revolves around an old and current sarcophagus, which is constantly stolen, hidden, and fought over. Rumors say there's an old-ass vampire sleeping inside, one of the first and the strongest vampires. Some vampires fear
Going to wake him up.
that if this fossil wakes up, it will feed on them to satiate his centuries-old hunger. So why does LaCroix want it so badly? Maybe he wants to dablerize it for his own dirty ambitions. But rumors are just rumors. Who knows what's actually inside? Maybe it's completely empty. Or maybe it's actually filled with a bunch of pop rocks. So what exactly is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines? It's a broken masterpiece built on the same source engine, that powered Half-Life 2. Yeah, while Gordon Freeman was busy saving humanity with a crowbar, you were out here arguing with vampires about what is better, a sewer rat or a bum's neck. It's janky, it's rushed, and yet it has things most modern RPGs don't dare to have anymore.
No more Yankee my wanky. The finger need food.
You can feel the ambition of Troika Games in its narrative.
Hopefully no Sabbat saw you escape.
Every character,
You see Orange Cat on Tuesday. Whoa, that's bad. Call doctor.
every choice,
I was feeling fine until
every quirk that somehow makes things better. The whole game is more about the journey than the destiny. You're not a hero. You're just another pawn, trying to figure out what's happening around you, while trying your best to survive in this unknown world. Oh shit, I think I just violated the Masquerade.